I'm Nancy Drew. Since you can tell a lot about a person by where he or she lives, I thought I'd introduce myself by showing you my room. As you can see, I keep it pretty neat. Of course, I don't spend that much time in here. I always seem to be off solving mysteries. Anyway, here's my center of operations, my desk. Go ahead and poke around. If you want to know the particulars of how I do what I do, take a look at the book titled How to Be a Detective. It's real helpful, especially if you're new to the mystery-solving business. And be sure to check out my scrapbook. I put memorabilia from all my past cases in there. A lot of them were pretty dangerous and at times really scary. But don't say anything about that to my dad, okay? He worries about me enough as it is. And whatever you do, read what's in the file called Case File. That will tell you all about the mystery I'm about to try to solve. If you think you're ready to dive into that mystery, just click on the plane ticket and you'll be on your way.
In preparation for our landing, please make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened. Thank you.
Taxi! Hello?
I said don't come near me.
No, Minette, don't!
Stay back, you hear me? Stay back!
Bonjour, vous êtes... are you Nancy?
Yeah?
I'm Heather McKay. Welcome! I'm so glad you're here. How was your flight?
Fine. Well, actually, they lost my suitcase, so I don't have any clothes or my cell phone. What's going on in there? Is someone hurt?
That's just Minette throwing one of her tantrums. Don't worry, she'll stop screaming right now. They lost your suitcase? That's terrible. Well, at least you're staying with Jing Jing. She'll have tons of clothes you can borrow.
Is she all right?
Oh, you mean Minette? Don't worry, she's fine. At least she will be after Phase 3, which should begin right about now. See, she uses this process that some shrink taught her to manage anger and frustration. First, she vents her rage for 10 seconds, then 6 seconds of sobs and tears, and finally, at least 4 seconds of robust laughter, all of which restores her positive flux.
Huh?
It's all very weird, but it works, and believe me, without it, she would be impossible to work for. With it, she's a mere nightmare to work for. Anyway, ready to get started?
That depends.
On what?
On how closely I'm going to have to be working with Minette. Kidding.
That desk over there will be your workstation. I made a list of all the things that need to get done and put them on your computer. That's a Metro Pass. It'll let you ride the subway all over the city for free. Go ahead and take it. Answering the phone is your job. If you have any questions, just ask. Ask me, that is. Do not bother Manette. She's behind on her spring collection and is in danger of falling way behind on her couture projects.
Couture projects?
High-fashion dresses and accessories that people have commissioned Manette to create. Needless to say, those people are très riche. In fact, she's designing the dress the First Lady will wear to the World Summit in November. Pretty cool, huh?
Heather?
Yes?
I hear voices. Who are you talking to out there?
Nancy Drew, you know, from the States?
Well, she's no good to me out there. Send her in.
Yes, Manette. As soon as you feel up to it, she's right through that door.
How come Manette has fallen so far behind in her work?
She's been under a lot of stress lately.
Thanks for your help.
Allez, bye-bye. Leave that alone, okay?
Sunny was here. Pick up envelope from J.J. Ling. Pick up fabric photos from Dieter von Schwesterkrank. Deliver photos to Jean-Michel Traquenard. Fix plotter. Do whatever Manette tells you to do, and do it fast. What's this?
That's the plotter. It's broken. Fixing it is one of your jobs.
What's in this folder?
That's a project I'm working on. Well, supposed to be working on.
Well, there you are. I was just about to call Amy Grunhild and tell her that this internship thing she'd arranged for you was off. It's bad enough Amy foisting you on me like this. The day I become financially independent and can tell people like her to buzz off will be the happiest day of my life. Well, you're here, we've met, so get to work. Heather did give you a list of chores, right?
Yes, I'm all set.
One more thing. See that form over there? The one I've just started to drape? Don't touch it. Don't even go near it. That's the dress I'm designing for the First Lady. Now go. Actually, make me a pot of my special tea first. It was custom blended by my tea therapist, so make sure you follow the directions. When you're done, pour me a cup and leave it on the table. A nice big boost of herbal energy never fails to get my brain cells firing. Oh, so rude, Manette.
Let's see. To make Manette her tea, the first thing I should do is read these instructions. Then I should put whichever herbs the instructions say I need into this pot of boiling water. Then when I'm done, I should click on the teapot so I can pour the tea into a cup. If I make a mistake and need to throw out an herb that I chose, or the tea itself, all I have to do is click on the sink. Okay, I think I'm ready. There. I finished making your tea.
Just leave it there. Minette, you've really outdone yourself. Hugo Butterly, eat your heart out.
Minette named her favorite dress form Carol. Okay. Interesting material.
You're not touching that, are you?
I was just looking. What kind of material is this?
It's a brand new blend. Doesn't even have a name yet. Don't you have work to do?
Just curious.
Minette, you've really outdone yourself.
What happened to your wall?
You're not really talking to me while I'm trying to work, are you?
Sorry.
Rude!
Nancy, come back here.
The tea is utterly rude. I can already feel my creativity flowing again, building like a wave on the ocean, surging towards some unseen shore. I have another job for you, a very critical job. See the stuff that I've been studying? That, in essence, is my spring collection.
Uh-huh.
All those objects have certain things in common which speak to and stimulate the artistic sinews of my subconscious, from which all the designs I need will eventually burst forth.
Uh-huh.
They're all totally rude, but they're not enough. I need more, Nancy. You need to take the number 7 metro to Pont-Neuf, go to the flea market in Square de Vergalant Park, and buy me 4 more things with qualities identical to the ones each of these possesses. Use this bag. Put everything in there as soon as you buy it. I don't want anyone seeing what you bring me. It could give away my whole collection. Here's some money.
I'm just supposed to go out and buy things?
Stuff. I want stuff. New stuff that's just like this old stuff, only different. Now just take a good look at my stuff, then go. Go!
Forget something?
Has this windmill or moulin always been a fashion design studio?
No. In fact, until a year or two ago, this little old lady lived here. When she passed away, this place went on the market and Minette snapped it up. See, Minette has this thing about curves. She claimed working in a quasi-round environment like this would make her more productive.
It makes her seem very eccentric.
Seem eccentric? The woman wears a mask. She is eccentric. And fashion editors eat it up. In fact, if there's one thing I've learned from Minette, it's that how a designer behaves is likely to get her just as much attention in the fashion world as what she designs.
Why does Minette wear that mask?
All I know is that back in March, on the last day of her big fall show, she showed up wearing that mask and she hasn't taken it off since.
And she's never bothered to explain why?
Sometimes she refuses to say. Other times she says it's because some mysterious man in black threw acid on her. I think it's because she just likes to get people's tongues wagging.
Who is Dieter von Schwesterkrank?
He's this awesome fashion photographer. But listen, as it turns out, I have to run an errand in that area, so I'll pick up those fabric photos.
Oh no, that's okay. I'll do it. Finding his studio will help me get more familiar with Paris. In fact, why don't I run your errand too?
No, that's all right. It can wait. Getting those prints to Jean-Mi is much more important.
Why am I delivering photos to somebody in a cafe?
Jean-Michel Trequenard is the fashion editor for Glam Glam magazine. All he really is a glorified gossip columnist, so it pays to be nice to him. Which, as you'll find out, ain't easy. His office is the Café Kiki on the Rue des Mauvais Garçons in the Marais. Look for the bald guy at the corner table. He'll have a cell phone in one hand and a fork in the other.
What's with all the red paint that's splattered on the wall in Minette's studio?
I came in one morning last month and there it was. Minette must have had a bad night.
And she just happened to have a can of paint in her office?
Probably using it for inspiration.
Ah. I'll let you get back to work.
Allez, bye-bye.
There's something on the floor here. Looks like someone slipped it under the door. It's for Minette.
Go ahead and open it.
Make the most of what little time you have left. Soon it will all be over.
Oh no, not another one.
Minette's gotten other letters like this?
Letters, phone calls. They started sometime in April, then they stopped, then they started up again in July. And last month, someone sent Minette dead flowers every day for a week. She locks the letters up in her dodo box over there in order to neutralize them.
May I keep this letter?
Why? I mean, if you were some kind of private detective, I'd say sure, but since you're not, just put it in the dodo box.
But okay. How do you open this thing?
You don't. There's a lock on it, but Minette is convinced that if she opens it, all the wickedness in there will escape and wreak havoc. In fact, don't say anything to her about that letter. It'll just upset her, and if she falls any further behind, she'll have to cancel her show next month. And if that happens, she may as well cancel her career.
I'll let you get back to work.
Whenever you have questions, just ask. Leave that alone, okay?
That's finished. Check. Oops, still need to do that.
Come in, set your things down and come on over here. Hi, JJ Ling. I'd shake your hand, but I get flour all over you. Oh, and Heather called and told me about your luggage. No worries. I have plenty of clothes in every size imaginable. Your bedroom's down that hall. The airline lost my luggage once, told me it was gone for good and paid me $100. Then 5 years later, my suitcase shows up on my doorstep. And a bill for the $100 they'd paid me. Plus interest.
It showed up 5 years later.
What? You don't believe me?
Actually, no.
Ooh, you're honest, you're smart. You and I are gonna get along great, Nancy Drew. You were right not to believe me. I made it up. See, to be a good model, you kind of have to be a good actress too. So sometimes I make things up, just for practice. Just to see if I can get people to believe me.
Doesn't that make people kind of mad?
some people, yeah. But I don't do it to be mean. And it's not like I'm hurting anybody. I'm just being creative. I've got some people convinced that I won the lottery and am actually a millionaire. It's kind of fun. You like chocolate chip cookies?
I love chocolate chip cookies.
So do I. And the nice thing is, I'm about 3 pounds shy of being the perfect size 12 that I need to be for Minette. I have a very high metabolism. So, I make cookies, I eat cookies, and since you're here, I share cookies.
Why does Minette want you to be a size 12?
Contractually, I have to be a size 12. See, Minette is into curves, so she designs clothes for full-figured curvy women. Because I signed on to be a fitting model, I have to maintain the ideal size 12 weight and shape.
What's a fitting model?
A fitting model puts on samples from a designer's latest line, so the designer can create each piece on a real live person instead of a dress form. It's not very exciting. In fact, it's totally boring. Plus, you're always getting stabbed with pins. But it pays the bills.
Does anyone else live here?
Nope, it's just me. And you now. Managed to get a short-term lease. Soon as I'm done being Minette's fitting model, I am out of here.
Can you think of anyone who might be out to get Minette?
Well, Dieter, obviously.
Dieter von Schwesterkrank?
He and Minette went out for about 6 months. Then all of a sudden, last April, Minette dumped him. Just tossed him aside like last month's edition of Vogue.
Was he angry?
You'd have to ask him. Just watch out when you're in that photographic studio of his. He lets his pet boa constrictor slither around loose in there.
He has a pet boa constrictor?
That's what I said. Don't you believe me?
Nice try, JJ.
This time I'm telling the truth. Dieter really does keep a snake in his studio. Hardly anybody knows about it. I think it may be illegal. If you happen to be in there, be careful.
Heather wants me to pick up an envelope from you.
Oh yeah, it's right over there. Heather needed a bunch of personal information so they can pay me, but I refused to give it out over the phone. I'm real paranoid about that sort of stuff. Don't ask me why, I just am. Go ahead and take it to her.
I'll let you get back to your cookie dough.
Ciao, Bella.
Hello?
Bonjour.
Oh, Nancy! George, go get on the other line, quick. It's Nancy. And remember, talk fast. She's calling all the way from France. So where are you? What have you seen? How do you like Paris? What's Minette like? Have you learned how to design clothes?
Beth, slow down. You don't have to talk fast, okay? My dad bought me a phone card and told me to make as many calls as I want.
Oh, great. Hi, Nance. What's going on? How's Paris? Have you seen the Louvre? What about the Eiffel Tower? How many famous people have you met?
George, 3 words. Prepaid phone card.
Oh, great.
Hey, perfect timing. We were just about to go for a run.
Whoa, wait a minute. A run?
Jog. I meant jog.
But you said run.
I meant jog.
You know how I feel about the R word, George.
Jog. We're going for a jog, Bess. Honest. So, Nance, tell us about Minette.
Well, she's very high-strung.
Why do you say that?
Well, the first time I walked into her office, I was almost decapitated by the potted plant she'd just thrown.
She threw a potted plant at you? Before she even knew you? That was rude.
Actually, she was throwing it at Heather, her assistant. Oh, and Bess, according to Minette, when something is cool, she says it's totally rude.
Rude. You know, that's got a ring to it. He is one rude dude. Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna start saying that.
You should see how cool, calm, and collected Minette's assistant Heather is, even when Minette is totally wigging out.
I don't get it. I mean, how could anyone work for a woman who goes around wearing a mask all the time?
Maybe Heather puts up with her because she knows working as Minette's assistant will look good on her resume.
Well, I'm thinking anybody ambitious enough to put up with behavior that wacky could be pretty darn ruthless, too. I sure wouldn't turn my back on her, Nan.
Yeah, that may be your favorite place to stab people.
Someone has been sending Minette threatening letters.
You mean someone's been threatening her life?
Well, not in so many words. I've only seen one of the letters she's gotten, and it was just kind of vaguely threatening. The end is near, that sort of thing.
Do you think the threats are what's causing Minette to act so bizarrely?
Or is her bizarre behavior the reason why she's been getting threats?
Good questions, and there's only one way to answer them.
Find out who sent those letters.
Just be careful, Nancy, or you might start getting threatening letters.
Guess I should get back to work.
Call us anytime.
Preferably soon.
Been there, done that. Can't check that off yet.
No, don't say anything. Let me guess. You lost your passport, so you're looking for the American consulate to get it replaced. Only you wound up here because you asked a Parisian for directions, and you thought you understood what he said, only you didn't. Am I right?
Actually, I'm looking for Dieter von Schwesterkrank.
Dieter von Schwesterkrank. Please don't tell me you're a would-be model who thinks her career would take off if only I would photograph her.
No, my name's Nancy Drew. Minette sent me here to pick up some fabric photos.
I regret to say I have not printed them up yet, nor will I have time to do so for quite a while. Had I used my digital camera, there would be no problem, but unfortunately, the essence of those fabrics was better captured by film.
You're not really going to make me go back to Minette and tell her that, are you?
I'd forgotten how unpleasant she can be when things don't go her way. Do you know how to make prints?
No.
Then you will learn. There is a binder on the bookshelf that will tell you how to make prints with the paper I use, which is Krollmeister Eschachrome PB paper. The darkroom is through the door with the red light by it, and the 4 negatives from which prints need to be made are next to the enlarger. I'm sure you'll do fine.
Enlarger, negatives, developer, stop bath, fixer. May I take this binder into the dark room with me?
Leave it in here, please. If you take it in there, you might spill something on it.
What's this?
That's just a toy I made when I was a boy. Go ahead and play with it if you want. I still do.
Nice camera. Is it digital?
Yes, very high res though. Very limited capacity. Would you like to borrow it?
I'd love to. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just make sure you don't knock over anything in there. Some of those chemicals are extremely volatile. Help yourself!
Whoa, look at all those bottles of chemicals. One false move and boom. I turn the enlarger on and off here. These must be the negatives. Oh my gosh, it's pitch black in here. With all those chemicals around, I'm going to have to be real careful. Looks like the paper is already mounted on the enlarger. That helps. I'll bet I didn't use the enlarger correctly. Nothing. I must have done something wrong. Oops. Uh-oh. One chemical plus another chemical equals... I'll bet I didn't use the enlarger correctly. Nothing. I must have done something wrong.
Ah, you're done making those prints?
I have a question.
Not about making prints, I hope.
It's about something else.
What?
Actually, I'd better get to work on those prints. Nothing. I must have done something wrong. I'll bet I didn't use the enlarger correctly. Oh no, I wrecked it. I'll bet I didn't use the enlarger correctly. Shoot, I must have made a mistake. I can't turn it on yet. I don't have anything to enlarge. Oops. The negative I want to make a print from goes here.
Stay tuned for more Nancy Drew and Danger by Design.